With respect, Minister, I know you started off by trying to brief us on your legal knowledge and trying to give us some legal parameters. But with respect, we don't want to hear about your legal opinion. We want to hear about your political responsibility as minister on this extremely important portfolio. Understood?
Listen, sir, I do my job. And I have a legal background, and I'm very proud of that, and I won't excuse myself to say for the record that I happen to understand these things perhaps better than others, because
you understood the question.
I'm a lawyer and I used to be managing ethics.
Sir, I got limited time.
Sir.
I will move on.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. You've heard the concept of ministerial responsibility, right?
I'm very familiar. I've been Minister of the Crown.
Yeah, the buck stops with you.
I totally, but I would tell you...
You keep talking? No, sir. This is my time to talk. I haven't asked you a question. Okay, you talk about, well, you know, that's not my responsibility, and they're going to be doing this review, or they're going to be making those changes, etc. But ultimately, they report to you, sir. The buck stops with you. And I know that there is a pattern in this Liberal government of ministers not accepting responsibility. I hope you're going to buck that trend and actually show real leadership and actually accept responsibility for this matter, because this matter has essentially been a year old. These whistleblowers come to the Auditor General and complain, not just one whistleblower, up to 20 whistleblowers, consisting of employees, consisting of senior executives. And I know that the SDTC likes to classify them as just troublemakers, but they're not. They received advice to prepare a 300-page informational package and send that off to the Privy Council office. That was done in February. Now, I understand through your evidence, sir, that you received notice that your department received that report in March, correct?
Did you say that you do not have possession of a 300-page whistleblower dossier? Did I hear you right?
The department does. I don't.
Have you read it?
No, I don't have possession of it. The department has.
You haven't. You mean to say that you take this very seriously, that you're willing to take whatever action is necessary. You've repeatedly said you're a lawyer, and you haven't taken the time to review the contents of the 300-page.
Well, I'll tell you very simply. You're a lawyer as well. I'm not the fact finder. I'm the minister.
That you did not review that report yourself?
Mr. Chair, can I answer the question that was like 30 seconds? Because, you know, there was a lot in this, by the way. The buck stopped with me as minister, but I would advise you, you might not be a lawyer, but to read the law that says what are the rights and obligations of the minister under the law, and I would advise you to read the terms and conditions of the contribution agreement.
Oh, believe me, sir, I have.
Because as an arm's-length organization, sir, the minister by law is not allowed to manage human resources. That's how the act was
created. I'm not talking about human resources.
That's how the act was created,
I'm not talking about human resources. I'm talking about the misuse of taxpayer money to the tune of $150 million.
Provide me the evidence of that, sir.
You want evidence? Take a look. Take a look at the three.
Provide me the evidence, because the only evidence that exists
one at a time.
Is the Raymond Chabot.
You want evidence, sir?
If you have evidence, provide it to me,
Mr. Brock,
sir.
Minister, just hang on a sec, okay? Let's get one person talking at a time.
You want evidence?
I understand it's emotional. Mr. Brock, you have the floor. You have the floor. Go ahead.
I suggest if you want evidence, you actually show some responsibility and read that 300-page report which listed all of the improper payments that went to companies that did not adhere to the contribution agreement number 9 that you keep referring to, that forms the basis of your legal obligations. I encourage you to do that, sir. Or did you, in fact, just receive a briefing from someone in your department about that 300-page report?
With respect, Chair, how can you say that they don't respect the contract? Have you done the forensic audit? I mean, there's people who have done forensic audit. I'm not sure you have done that, but Raymond Chabot did a forensic audit, sir. And that's not the conclusion they reached. That's what I'm saying. You have to work on the basis of evidence and have due process and procedural fairness, sir, because if you're going to say things like that, sir, I'll tell you something. If you're going to say things like that, you have to make sure that what you say is backed by evidence.
Thank you for that advice. Have you ever contemplated why the Auditor General is actually involved?
Yes, because we've been working with them.
Because they feel that you didn't do your job.
That's not at all. Ask them.
All right?
Ask them, sir.
That's exactly what they're saying.
Because we work with them and we welcome their investigation, sir.
People need to be held accountable. People need to be fired. You've done absolutely nothing despite claiming you're taking this so seriously. You've got your ADM in your own department claiming that you were going to freak out, that changes had to be made, that the board had to be replaced. You did absolutely nothing, sir, between March and October. Did you actually have meetings with your ADM to talk about this issue in that time frame?
Mr. Chair, I would say I work on the basis of evidence. What the member
Sir,
is
did
talking
you have
is about
conversations with your
allegations.
ADM?
And I would advise
Mr.
you
Brock,
should take
time
legal
is up.
advice before you make these allegations,
Thank
sir,
you,
because
Minister.
the only evidence that
Thank
exists
you.
is in the Raymond Chabot report.
Thank you, sir.